Yes guys, what's happening? I'm on my way to the gym again, get my steps in. Put a video up the other day, just a raw one like this, where I just talked about a topic to do with fitness. It actually went down really well, so I'm going to do another one today, right now. So today I'm going to talk to you about training. Not at all about training specifics, exercises, rep ranges and that sort of stuff, but I guess more of a mindset around training, which is something that we always talk to new clients that work with us, that come on board with the team. If you're new to the channel, I run an online coaching company for professionals called Athletic Aesthetic, and outside of the basic training and nutrition advice, we do a lot of mindset work with our clients. So today I want to talk about making your training a non-negotiable. And I think a lot of people say, I know that a lot of people say that they consider their training a non-negotiable, but when you start asking them questions, going a little bit deeper, understanding maybe what they've done with their own training over the last 1 to 3 months, it's clear for me, as someone who genuinely has their training as an absolute non-negotiable, that those people don't. I do between 10 to 15 consultation calls a week with new prospective clients, and when these people book in for calls, we usually get information from them, asking them how often they're training. A lot of the time these people will say they're training between 4 and 6 times a week, but when you actually, as I said before, go a little bit deeper, you understand and you start to realize that actually 4 to 6 times is probably on a really, really good week where everything's gone well. But when work gets busy, when travel's involved, when there's social events, the volume of the training on a weekly basis actually goes down to 3 sessions a week, sometimes even less than 2. And that's not really good enough to take it from good to great. Now, in our coaching program, we don't really work with weight loss clients. Our kind of speciality is working with men who are probably hovering around the 16 to 18% body fat range, and they really want to take it to that next level, get down certainly below 12%. And for weight loss, you could just train 2 to 3 times a week. You know, if you miss the session every now and again, it wouldn't really make much of a difference, because doing steps like this, controlling your nutrition, that's a massive part of losing weight. But if you really, really want to take your physique to the next level, you know, build a physique that you're really, really proud of, that has a good amount of muscular density, that allows you to stay lean year round, then training, it has to be a non-negotiable. And I'm going to talk now about what does that actually look like. What are the kind of key mindset practices that you need to have to make it a non-negotiable? And I know it sounds boring and a bit cliche, but the most important thing with making it a non-negotiable is organizing your routine. Just change hands because I'm getting a massive delt pump holding the iPhone, but I'm not sure what, the definition of non-negotiable would be, but what it means to me is basically not letting anything get in the way of something. So with training, again, if I use myself as an example, all the clients that we work with, just walking up a hill as well, that's why I'm a little bit out of breath. It would mean that you don't let work, travel, personal circumstances get in the way of your training. Obviously take that with a pinch of salt. There's always going to be some things that come up, if a family member dies or something like that. Of course, we're not expecting you to go to the gym the next day, but if travel's a regular feature in your routine, then when you're going away for work or leisure, you need to be looking at where you're staying and realistically making sure that you've got access to a gym, whether that's a slightly subpar hotel gym, whether that's being able to walk to a commercial gym in the city centre within 5 to 10 minutes. Just thinking about things like that. And a big one as well, which I think really helps me stay very, very consistent with my training, is just being not only non-negotiable with the amount of training sessions that I do each week, but also trying to be as close to non-negotiable with doing the sessions on the same days as well. Because something that I see quite a lot with new starters is, let's say we set someone up on a 4-day training split, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. What sometimes happens is they let things get in the way. They start pushing their training sessions towards the weekend. Let's say they had 1 or 2 sessions in on the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. someone invites them out for dinner or something like that, they have a few drinks, they're hungover the next day, and then they don't go to the gym. And then that's how you get into this repetitive cycle of actually missing training sessions. So I think within being non-negotiable of X amount of sessions per week, let's say it's 4, try and stay as close to the same training days as possible as well. And if we even zoom out a little bit further than that, rather than looking at the granular details of the training program, how many days per week you're training, what days you're training on, just try and consider actually what training actually does for you outside of just looking good. So I know for me, if I were to fall off my training, I would say for the last 5 years, ever since I've become a coach, it has been a genuine non-negotiable, like just completely ingrained in my life. But before that, when I was at uni, I did miss the odd session, maybe once every 3 to 4 weeks, but certainly not any more regular than that. But now, yes, obviously training makes me look great. It helps business massively as well. And it would definitely go the other way. If I stopped training, I would obviously be in worse shape and business would probably eventually go downhill. But when I'm less consistent with training, I notice that my nutrition slips, my quality of nutrition slips, which therefore has a knock-on effect on my energy levels day to day as well. And now that I'm obviously running my own business as well, I notice how important it is to have a consistent high amount of energy throughout the day as well. So if I were to stop training as often, I'd probably eat more processed food, more junk food. I'd probably eat out more. When I did eat out, I'd probably have more desserts and things like that. And then again, that leads to really, really poor energy. So just understand that the knock-on positive effect from you being consistent with your training is going to impact other areas of your life as well. You're going to eat better quality food, you're going to feel better, but also from an energy standpoint as well. The majority of people that we work with, we're not working with young guys that are just looking to get into shape for summer to go to Ibiza. Like, we're working with high level people in corporate positions, some founders, directors, people like that, mid-30s, early 40s, who they need their energy for their work. It's so important, and they need their energy for their family as well. So without sounding cliche, the training, it has to become a lifestyle, and it has to become a non-negotiable, because if it's not a non-negotiable, we're all really, really busy. Everyone loves to talk about how they're so busy. It's going to get missed, things are going to slip, and then you're really, really going to struggle to get yourself from good shape to great shape. Because if you've been lifting for a few years, it is relatively easy to stay in what people would class as good shape. You could train 2 to 3 times a week, and as long as you weren't massively overeating and you were relatively active, you could stay in good shape. But most of the people that watch this channel, and almost all the people that we speak to on consultation calls that come on board with us, they're not looking to be in good shape, they're looking to be in great shape. And I think that's the standard that you should be aiming for. Certainly if you're paying a few $100s a month to a coach, and if you're investing, let's say, more than 3 hours a week into your training, then you should be in really, really good shape. So let's up the standard, let's consider trading a non-negotiable, and that's what's going to get you to the next level.